Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. I've woken up to the most autumny morning, and after that disgusting heat wave, it is very welcomed to me. So it's gloomy, it's rainy, it's dark. I've had to put the headlights on in the car. The windscreen wipers are still going at it because it has been thrashing it down. So I thought the most perfect little plans for this morning is we are going to go to Starbucks. We're going to try one of the new autumn drinks that I have literally been gagging to do, but I've not had the opportunity. My mum and my nan have been staying up in the area, so we've been together pretty much the whole week so far. But anyway, they are heading back down to Cambridge today, so I thought we're going to have the day together. We're going to go try a Starbucks drink, we're going to have a cosy little day in the car, and we're going to have a little catch up. A cosy day in the car, that might be a bit extreme. It's not going to be a full day, but I wanted to do a little catch up, a little chatty Q&A. I've done one of these before and I really like watching them when other people film them, so I thought I'd do another one. I don't really do it the same way as most people do though, just because I've gone over this before, but I'll go over it again. I use Instagram for more personal use, so like catching up with friends and family. I don't really post on there like I post on TikTok and like I post on here, so I don't really have the opportunity to put a story up and put a little question box for anyone to send in questions for me to answer in these videos. So what I tend to do is go through my TikTok videos and kind of pick out the most frequently asked questions. That's not to say that I get these comments and questions all the time. It's just the ones that I kind of notice pop up the most, or like they've popped up a few times, and then they're questions that we could just chat about a little bit more, if that makes sense. So we've just pulled up to Starbucks pretty much, it's just opposite, so we're going to head over now, order a little autumn drink, and then me and you are going to have a little cozy catch up in the rainy car, which is one of my favourite things, being in the car when it's raining. It's just those cozy vibes that I absolutely love. So let's go to Starbucks now and pick up a drink. Okay, so I have an inkling of what drink I'm gonna get because I've been perusing the autumn menu, obviously, on my app. But I'm gonna have a little look and see what there is. So we've got, we've got the pumpkin cream cold brew, salted maple and caramel cream cold brew. Oh my god, yum, I bet that's so good. I'm also TikToking, so I need to remember that.
I'll with you when I can.
Thanks.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you?
Hi, could I get a grande clotted cream fudge cold brew, please?
Yeah.
And then have you got any chocolate twists?
Yeah.
Can I get a chocolate twist as well, please?
Anything else?
That's everything, thank you.
Everything ready, please?
Thanks. There we go, guys, that was my order. I didn't even have time to go over that together, but I'm not a fan of pumpkin, and I know that's going to kill the vibes for a lot of you. Right, we've got the TikTok clips so I can properly chat to you. But I don't like pumpkin spice. So last year was the first time that I tried pumpkin spice, and I got a pumpkin spice iced latte, and it ruined my day. I'm not gonna lie. It actually ruined my day because I was hyping it up so much, and Sam was saying to me like, oh, you're gonna love pumpkin spice, like I know you're gonna love pumpkin spice, like it tastes like a candle, like bigging it up. And then I got one and it was the most disgusting thing I think I've ever put in my mouth. Like, it made me feel sick, and it was like neon orange. As soon as the lady handed it to me, I knew I wasn't gonna like it, and then I took a sip and it confirmed it to me that I hated it. So we're staying away from the pumpkin spice this year. If you've got any good autumn like drink recommendations, please let me know, or if there's like a better way to try pumpkin spice, because I feel like the coffee that I got, maybe it was just like the wrong order that I tried, and I feel like I should like it because I like cinnamon, I like those kind of spices. So let me know if I'm ordering it wrong and if there's a better way to order pumpkin spice and if I should be doing that. Okay, so we've just pulled up. I've got my coffee. This is what I went for. If you want to try it, it's just a clotted cream fudge cold brew. And I absolutely love the salted caramel cream cold brew, so I'm really excited to try this. and I was eyeing it up on the app, so I kind of knew that that's what I was going to get. So it wasn't hard to decide what autumn drink I was going to go for. It looks like they've got like little crunchy bits on the top as well, which is intriguing and exciting me. When I get one of these drinks, the cold brews, I like to use a straw to just give it a bit of a mix down below, but then I use the little hole to sip it. So if you use a straw, you don't get the creamy stuff on the top. So let's give it a taste. Oh my god, it smells unreal. Oh my god. It's giving Bailey's vibes. I'm not going to lie, in the best way, it's giving Bailey's vibes. Oh my god. Favourite Starbucks drink I've ever had. And it's seasonal, isn't it? So it's going to be taken off the menu. But that is delicious. If you get the chance to try that, definitely give it a go. 10 out of 10 from me. If I eye roll every time I take a sip of that coffee, apologies. I also got myself a little chocolate twist because it's that time of the month, you know, and I'm craving all the chocolate. I'm quite sad because I've just realised I didn't warm up my chocolate twists and they're just not the same and they're not warmed up. Still good though. Okay, so I think I'm just going to get into these questions. Any girls out there, when you're due on, does your stomach feel like a bottomless pit? Because I feel like I could literally eat from the minute I wake up to the second I go to bed, like, just for fun. I feel like I could sit on the sofa and literally barely take a breath and just eat and eat and eat, which is so not like my usual self. Like, obviously I get hungry normally, but when I'm on my period, it's just next level. Let's get into the questions. Let's put down the chocolate twist for now, and let's get into the first little question. So I've just kind of listed these on my notes, and what I want to say as well before we start is if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer in a future one of these videos, then put it in the comments below of this video and I will answer it. And next time we do like a catch up or a chatty Q&A in the car like this, I can use this video and the comments to refer to rather than going through all my TikTok comments, if that makes sense. So these are questions that I've got from my TikTok, okay? So a lot of the questions that I get, because I do a lot of like day in the life videos and things like that, a lot of the questions I get are about my job and what I do for my job, how I got into it, and advice, like people asking for advice, if how to do the same. So for anybody that doesn't know it already, I have mentioned it in a lot of my videos before, but for anybody that's new and doesn't know, I am a freelance social media manager and a content creator for brands, and I now also do my own content creation for like TikTok and YouTube, doing brand deals and stuff like that through my management. So the question that I'm going to answer today, the last question Q&A thing that we did sitting in the car like this, I did kind of go over how I got into it and some like little tips and advice. I always say to people though, if you're looking for solid advice and this is the route that you want to go down and you're really considering it as a career, please do your own research. Like, there is endless resources online. Like, you literally just have to... What is going on? Literally just have to... Sorry, there's a car... I've literally parked in the middle of nowhere in this car park, and a car has just decided to pull up directly behind me, and I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, let's just pretend that didn't happen. But yeah, always do your own research online. I always say to Sam, like, we're in the most fortunate position, our generation, because there is just endless resources at our fingertips. Like, if you go on YouTube, if you go on Google, do a quick search of like how to get into social media management and stuff, you could literally teach yourself from the things online. And I appreciate that people want like first-hand like advice and tips and stuff like that, but I just don't feel like I'm in a position to really give any valuable help. Because there were so many factors that went into me getting my job, and it kind of just all worked itself out, which makes me sound like such a dick, but that's just kind of how it went. So the question I'm going to answer today anyway is what I was going to say before I went on that massive tangent, is would you recommend freelance in general? So I've had a lot of like messages, DMs and stuff of people asking if I would recommend getting into freelance. Can we just take a minute for this coffee? Look at that. Oh, this looks so good. And the short answer is 1000% yes. I feel like at school we didn't get taught enough about the different options that there are in for making a sorry, I feel like I can't get my words out. I feel like I'm stuttering and I feel like I'm getting a bit carried away and trying to get 1,000 words out at once. But I feel like we're not taught about all the different ways that you can make a living at school. I feel like we're conditioned to get an education, go out into the real world, get a corporate job, get a 9 to 5, and we're not taught about the endless possibilities that there are out there. Saying that, when I was at school, my job didn't really exist. So when I was at school, obviously like thinking about my career and what I wanted to do when I was older, I don't think my job really existed then. And I remember my dad actually always used to say to me, like, there are endless jobs out there. There are jobs that you don't even know exist, and there are jobs that aren't even created yet. There are job roles and positions that aren't even a thing yet. So I feel like the education system can box you in quite a lot, and it can make you think that there are only a certain amount of ways to make money and to earn a living and to create a stable income and things like that. Like, when I talk to a lot of people, and I was actually having a conversation with my nan, which was really interesting to hear her thoughts on it, because I don't think a lot of like my older relatives really understand what I do for a living or like the ins and outs of it, which is totally understandable because obviously their generations were completely different. But I kind of had the opportunity to have like a long discussion with my nan about what I do and how it works. And initially she was quite sort of, well, it's very scary, it's not guaranteed, and, you need a stable job. And once I explained it to her how it works with freelancing and retainer clients and, the opportunity to earn more each month, she was like, by the end of the conversation, she was very pro freelance, and we were kind of on the same page about how they don't really teach you this stuff in school. So would I recommend becoming a freelance, getting into freelance work? 1000% yes. I couldn't recommend it enough. I compare my freelance work when I was in the office, and it's a whole different world, and it opens so many doors, not even just financially, but time freedom. You meet so many different people. Like, every month I meet new people. I meet entrepreneurs, I meet business owners, I meet, people that are kind of on the same wavelength as me and are into the same things and the same industry, and even different industries. Like, I've stuck my finger in so many, I hate this saying, but I've stuck my finger in so many different pies and have been able to learn about so many different industries. Like, in my last vlog, when I kind of went over my main social media management client, and it's in aesthetic treatment, so like Botox, dermal fillers, that kind of thing, I've got to learn so much about that industry, which is just so random, but I absolutely love it now. And I get to go to all these events and meet all these people, and I just love freelancing, and I'd never ever go back to a 9 to 5, just because I'm so used to working this way, and I absolutely love it. And I completely get that this way of working is not for everybody, and there's pros and cons to both, definitely. And if you're the kind of person that would stress too much and gets anxious if you haven't got that sort of guaranteed, I'm getting paid on the 21st of every month, and I know that's going to cover all my bills, and I know that I don't have to worry about anything else, and it probably wouldn't be for you. But I've kind of got myself into the mindset of, just keep pushing, you can do it. And to be fair, it's taken a while to build up a steady, income and a steady flow of clients. It doesn't happen overnight. But I would 1000% recommend looking into freelance if you're looking for more. If you're looking to sort of like manage your own workload. I'm not to say that freelancing is easier than a 9 to 5. Because it's not easier. I think because people think, you have this extra free time, you don't have to wake up and go to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning and leave at 6 o'clock at night, and you can work from home. They maybe have this perception that it's a bit easier, or it's not as hard work. It's not. Sometimes I'll work from like 7:30 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, and that's like literally straight full day working, not taking a lunch break. I don't give myself a lunch break most days. It's just working around a different schedule. But I love freelance work, and I feel like we should be teaching kids and teaching everyone more about the different options that there are to make a living. And there are so many different options other than getting a 9-to-5 job. And this is by no means me slagging off a 9-to-5. I don't want to make out that I'm slagging off, you know, jobs. I was going to say normal jobs. Anything's a normal job, but a 9-to-5 job, I'm not slandering, you know, corporate or 9-to-5 jobs. I feel like every person is just so different, and I feel like not everybody suits the same way of working. And you know, 9-to-5 jobs are great for some people, they're not great for others, and freelance jobs are great for some people and not great for others. So definitely do your own research. There's so many resources online. There's so many courses online if you want to get qualified. But yeah, me personally couldn't recommend freelance working enough. Also, a quick note on that as well that I wanted to mention is my 9-to-5 job, I had no opportunity to earn any more money. So Sam's job, he can do like overtime, or he can do extra support, and he can like bulk his monthly wage up a bit. So if, like, say for example, we're going on holiday or something like that, he can put himself forward to earn some more money at work, and he'll get more in his monthly pay. My job, it was capped. There was no opportunity to earn any more money. There was no opportunity for progression or what is it called? So silly. Promotions. There was no opportunity for that. So every month I'd get the same amount of money, and my bills were getting more and more expensive. I was getting more and more commitments. Like, with freelance, you can earn as much as you want. Like, if I wanted, say for example, if I wanted to go on holiday and it cost £600, I could do some outreach and I could aim to earn an extra £600 to cover that holiday, and, you know, get the work done, and that's the money paid for, and that's the holiday paid for. So there's so much more sort of flexibility with your earnings when you get to a point where you're getting consistent clients and you know how to outreach and that kind of thing. So yes, I would recommend looking into freelance work. I feel like these answers are going to be really long if you can't tell already from that huge spiel that I've just given you. So we might be here for a while. I'm going to kind of switch it up and make each question a bit different, so we're not talking about the same thing all the time. So the next question that we get quite a lot is, do you want kids? Now, I feel like this has sort of stemmed from our dink vlogs that we used to do. If you don't know what I'm on about, there's a little saying, dinks, if you haven't heard it, it's double income, no kids. And I used to use the saying in a lot of our vlogs. I found a few videos on TikTok and I loved it. I loved the saying. Like, me and Sam have always referred to ourselves, well, we've not always referred to ourselves as dinks before we found it, but like, we're, out of Sam's sisters and brothers, he's only got 2 sisters, I don't know what I'm on about, but out of Sam's sisters, we're the only ones without any kids. So like, at a family function or whatever, like, we're always the kidless people turning up, like going on these holidays and things like that. So we've always had this bit of a joke, and when we saw the word dinks, we loved it, and I started using it in our vlogs and saying, you know, day in the life of a couple who are double income, no kids, whatever. And they did really well, and a lot of them, I did a few of them, but a few of them went really viral, and I actually got contacted by so many, I don't think I've ever said this, but I've actually been contacted by so many newspapers who wanted to do articles about our dink videos, because not a lot of people do them, and I think that's why they did so well, and so many people resonated with them and related to them. So I think a lot of people think like, oh, like maybe they don't ever want kids, because there is a dink community of people that have just decided that's it. They've wrote off kids for the rest of their life. They never ever want children. And then there's people that are dinks who are just enjoying that dink time with their partner, just them, you know, no financial responsibilities of children, no commitments. Like, you can just be sort of your own, you know, you enjoy your free time whenever you want. You don't have to think about childcare, that kind of thing, and making the most of that time before you later on have children. So I think a lot of people who have watched those videos think, oh, like, do they never want kids? But the short answer is we do want kids eventually. We're not part of the dink community that have decided that's it, we never want children, you know, this is us forever. Definitely not part of that community. I'm actually a really maternal person, and I definitely do want children. I get so broody, I'm not gonna lie. And the whole dink thing is kind of us making that conscious effort to enjoy this time of it just being us two, because I feel like a lot of the time you go through the notions so much in life, like you don't appreciate where you are now, and you're constantly thinking about the next step, like getting excited for the next phase, which is good. But I feel like us especially, like, we forget to live in the moment and enjoy the now and realize that this is what we've dreamt about for ages and we're living in that. So as much as we do want kids, and I really want kids, like, some of the videos I see on TikTok make me so broody, but we're holding out. We're holding out for as long as we can because, as I say, we're trying to enjoy this time just us two, because when children come along, it's a big decision. It's such a huge adjustment in life. And I'm not saying your life ends when you have kids. I don't believe it does, but it's just, it changes. There's no denying your life changes when you have children. And I don't care what anybody says. I've seen videos that's like, this is the sign that, you know, your life doesn't have to change when you have children. Your life does change when you have children. I don't care who you are. I don't care how well behaved your kids are. Like, your life changes when you have children. It is a fact. So we're making that real conscious effort to enjoy this time just being us two, having all the lay-ins, doing what we want, going for spontaneous weekends away whenever we want. Like, when we have Lola, it kind of gives, not relating kids to dogs. Sometimes I think dogs are actually harder than kids because you can't bring them with you to certain places. But that commitment of having someone there, like when we have Lola, we can't just up and go for a night away, which is something that we'd usually do. It's just such a big commitment. So the answer is yes, we do want kids. I can't wait to have children. The thought really, really excites me, and it does Sam as well. We both have moments where we're really broody, but we are making a conscious effort to enjoy this time just being us two, because once you have kids, you don't have that again. It's never going to be just you two again. So we're just cherishing this time, it just being us, before we make that huge decision. So the next one is advice for first-time buyers. I was trying to think if I'd answered this question in the last YouTube video like this that I did, and I feel like somewhere along the line I have. I feel like I have done, I know for a fact I have done a full video about our process of buying our new build, and I've put some tips in there. So if you want to see that, it was one of the first videos that I filmed. So if you scroll all the way down, it should be there. That's a more in-depth video. But just a few little top tips that I'd go over now is, obviously there's going to be tips, financial tips about mortgages and saving money and like your paperwork, solicitors, things like that. But surface level tips that I'm going to give you is collect bits and bobs that you need for your house gradually and spread it over if you can, because we were living at Sam's mum and dad's house, and the best thing that we did was buying like 3 to 5 pieces of either furniture, like utensils, just bits around the house that we needed. So like our bedside tables, our bed, our pillows, bedding, like knives and forks, plates, mugs. We staggered that out across those months. So each month we'd buy a few things, and it just spreads the cost like you would not believe, so that when you move in, you don't have to think, oh my God, we've got to spend thousands of pounds now furnishing the house and kitting it out. You've collected a stash along the way and you spread it out, and it just spreads the cost so much. And it also takes away the stress as well, because when you're moving in and you've got to think about everything you need to buy, it's just manic. So I sat with my laptop, I wrote a huge list for each room in the house, which I found really helpful. So I split it up into like kitchen, living room, bathrooms, broke it down that way, and then wrote obviously everything that we needed for each of those rooms, and then we ticked it off each month and everything that we bought, and that really helped us out. Another tip I would give is, this is kind of just before you buy a house or when you're in the process of buying a house, and I heard this on someone else's video, so this isn't actually my tip, but I wish I had heard this tip before we bought our house. We bought a new build and I had no idea that you could do this, but you can barter, like you can put in an offer for your house. So for example, this video that I saw of this girl that had just bought a new build, she saved 10 grand off their new build because they just asked if they could have it for cheaper and they put an offer in. I had no idea you could do that. So if you're buying a new build, do that. Another tip I would give, these aren't really like practical, this is just like we're chatting as friends, friendly advice. don't stress about getting your house finished as soon as you moved in. Like, when we first moved into our house, I was so eager to get everything finished straight away. Like, I wanted all the walls painted, I wanted everything finalised and everything perfect. And I would say, like, just enjoy the process. Don't get caught up on how your house looks in the first few months. Like, it's a slow and steady process. Like, we've been in our house 3 years now and we still don't have everything finished. Like, there's lights in the house that don't have light shades on because we just never got round to it, and we still haven't, which is kind of bad, to be fair, but it's a process. Slow and steady is always the best when you're moving into your first house. This is kind of another house related question, but you would not believe the amount of times that I get asked this. This is probably, out of this list of questions, this is probably the most asked one. Just have a little coffee break and have a sip of this before we get into this one. I feel very passionately about this question. Okay, so this question: do you share the housework, the cleaning, whatever you want to fit into the category of housework? Do you share it with Sam, is the question that I get. When I get this question, I feel like replying, like, what? I feel like saying, like, why is that even a question? Yes, we share the housework. Like, it doesn't even come into my brain that we wouldn't. And when I've posted couples reset videos, the amount of comments, that I get from women saying, oh my God, like, how have you got your boyfriend to do this? Like, you're so lucky. And I just think, like, what? Like, some days I work more hours than Sam. So at what point am I then going to start scrubbing our house top to bottom while he sits on his bum? Like, it kind of gets me a bit angry, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to get to, I don't even know. Like, yes, we share the housework is the answer to that question. And if you're not sharing the housework with your partner, please have a word with them, because the amount of unpaid work that women have to do on top of their job disgusts me, and it's something that I could sit and talk about for ages. And I actually read a book about this. I've forgotten what the book is called. If I can find the name of it, I'll put it here. And it basically goes into the additional work that women do, the unpaid work that women do outside of their job. So, like, looking after the kids, looking after the house, the cooking, the cleaning, like, it's just not okay. Like, it's not. And I was shocked when I posted them and the comments that I got. I just didn't think that it was I thought that everyone was, I didn't think that everyone was equal now, because obviously they're not. And you might have different setups in your house. Like, if you're a stay-at-home mum, for example, and you don't necessarily have a job to go out to. I know being a stay-at-home mum is a job in itself, I'm not saying that, but if you've got a setup in your house that works and you've got an agreement that works, that's absolutely fine. I'm not bashing that at all, but if you're both working jobs, you're both going out and you're working the same amount of hours, ladies, please do not spend all of your free time cleaning the house if your partner's not going to help you out and it's not equal. Like, I say, like, it's our house, it's mine and his house that we decided to buy together. It is not my job to sort it out on my own. So the answer to that is yes, we do share housework, and I would not have it any other way. To be fair to Sam, I've never had to even ask him, or, we've never really had to sit down and decide that, because it's been like that since we moved into the house. So yeah, that's my 2 pence worth on that. Okay, so my battery is overheating. I don't know why. My camera's going into a little bit of a fit. So we're going to do one more question to round up this video, because I feel like I could just go on and on and on. These answers are very long-winded. So we're going to answer one last one. So, goals for the next 5 years. Now, I've had a couple of messages about this, and I think it sort of links in with my job again, because I obviously get, as I've mentioned, I get quite a lot of questions about my job, and I think that kind of links with my job as well. So, like, within my job, in the next 5 years, I'd like to carry on what I'm doing currently. I'd like to carry on doing that for the next 5 years. I've been thinking and kind of brainstorming in my head what dreams and goals and bigger ambitions that I have within the work that I do, and I would absolutely love to get to a point where I can take women on and have a strong team of empowered women working together in a freelance setting, kind of under like an agency type vibe, and I'd love to help as many women out as possible to get into this line of work who want to, and kind of mentor and guide and work together to do this kind of work and create that time freedom and financial freedom, and just create a really strong, powerful team of women. That is like my ultimate dream within the work that I do now. In the next 5 years, I'd love to set something like that up, and do like masterclasses and like content creation, like mentoring schemes and things like that. So that's like long-term visions. I'd love to carry on growing my YouTube channel as well. I'd love to make this a huge part of my career as well, because I just enjoy it so much. And obviously carry on growing my TikTok and work on brand collabs and things like that. Within my personal life in the next 5 years, I'd like to have bought another house with Sam. I'd like to have an investment. I'd love to invest in property. That's a dream that me and Sam have, but within the next 5 years, I'm not sure that that's within those realms, maybe the next 10 years, but I'd love to have bought another house with Sam. Our next house, we want to buy something with a little bit more character so that we can renovate and make our own, and get our teeth stuck into that. So I can see that happening within the next 5 years, I think, because we've only got 2 years on the current mortgage that we've got in this house. So we won't be in this house longer than 2 years, I don't think. We're not sure whereabouts in the country we'd like to live. We're either going to stay up here or we're going to move back to where I'm from in Cambridgeshire, but the house prices are extortionate. So we're kind of weighing up, and we absolutely love the area that we live in now. So got a lot of decisions to make in these next few years. But yeah, buying a house, renovating it, expanding my business, maybe a women-only social media agency, creating a like strong team of women. That's like, oh, that gets me really excited, the thought of doing something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd love to travel more. Me and Sam want to go on a really big America holiday in the next year or two. We'd also love to we just want to see more of the world, go on big holidays. So yeah, travel, career expansion, moving house, renovating a house. That's like the top dreams in the next 5 years. Wow, this coffee, by the way, please go and try this if you get the chance to. Unreal. But I'm going to wrap this video up now, I think. I feel like we've chatted a lot. I've nearly finished my coffee. I'm going to go and have a wander around Home Bargains and B&M now and see what's in the new autumn stuff. So I'm going to film that on my TikTok. So if you want to see that, go over to TikTok, even though that'll probably be live before this, I'm not sure. But thank you so much, as always, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as I said in the beginning, if you've got any questions that you want me to answer in the next video like this, please leave them in the comments below of this video, and I will refer to this when we're filming the next one. So I'm going to try and do these a little bit more, because I love to just sit down and chat with you guys, and I feel like it's a good way of you getting to know me more, and I love watching them of other people. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Please make sure that you're subscribed if you're not already, because we have all the cozy content coming, and I'm also dancing around the idea of doing Vlogmas, but I'm not sure yet. The thought kind of scares me, but it excites me as well. Let me know what you think about Vlogmas down below. I'm kind of getting some ideas together and things like that. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed for all of that. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.